Welcome.
Thank you.
No, we're here. Yeah, I'd like to formally welcome you here in front of everybody, and um, we're thrilled Seth is here. Obviously, we've known each other for some time, so to the extent that your character, your personality, how we think you're going to fit into things factors into a trade. That was an easy part, and we just think Seth is going to be a great addition to our team, and it's pretty simple.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here, obviously. I wanted to play for a contender, and Florida was obviously at the top of my list when it came to that. And I want to fit in with this team, be a part of the system, come and bring my game, and, play hard defensively, help a little bit offensively, but really just fit into the system and, bring what I can, whatever's asked of me. So I want to play playoff hockey, and this was, obviously the number one destination for me to do that. Just with the style of play, the culture, the coach, all the way up how things are ran with Billy, owner than Billy. I've heard nothing but great things. So all the players have awesome things to say, and I'm super happy to get started.
He's at the Jameson Hall with the Florida Panthers. Nice to meet you. Welcome. You talk about your desire to win and play playoff hockey. Just what does it mean for you to join the defending champs and to kind of be a part of this window now for the next 5+ years? Just what kind of fire does that light under you?
A big one. I mean, I think that, when you look at the standard in the NHL, this is it. The way they play, like I said, I keep saying the style of hockey. It's physical, it's in your face, it's aggressive, the deep pinch everything. But everyone works hard on both sides of the puck, and that's the most important thing for me is, you can trust everyone out there. All 5 guys are doing their job, and then you have Bob and Net to make big saves. So, there's really not a stone left unturned here when it comes to hockey, and like I said, I'm super happy that I could come in and be a part of that culture.
Is it going to take a little bit of an adjustment from being a guy that kind of all the weight on the world was on you in Chicago to where now you don't have to be the engine, the transmission, you can just be, part of this and moving forward?
Yeah, 100%. It's obviously been a tough, 3-4 years there in Chicago. Not what I envisioned, when I signed there as a free agent a few years ago. And I think, when it came to my game, I was just putting so much on myself, trying to do it all, and that wasn't the right thing, obviously. But it was hard mentally, day to day. So, I'm happy that I can just come here, focus on hockey, just play a simple hockey game. Like I said, trust all the players around me, and just win. Winning's fun, winning's everything to us players. And I think that, whether, I'm sure my minutes go down a little bit, but I think that's fine. I go out there, play whatever it's power play, it's penalty kill, just be solid all around, and that'll help the team.
Seth, Doug Plagens, Panthers Radio, welcome. Just wanted to gauge your excitement not only for tonight because it's your first game with the team, but also fitting that your first game as a Panther is against the Tampa Bay Lightning, knowing the history the two teams have playing against each other. How much does that add to it for you tonight?
It definitely adds to it. I think when you watch, every single game that Florida and Tampa play each other, it's like a war, out there. And both teams are trying to prove a point every time they play each other, because obviously the playoff matchups, but in the regular season it does matter. You want to be hard. You want to show the other team that you're there and in their face. And, it's definitely a heightened kind of energy, I think. And I'm sure I'll feel it a little bit more tonight for the game, a heightened energy, a heightened hatred, so to speak, toward Tampa, and I'm excited that this is the first game on this stage.
For Bill, I know you guys have history. We were together in Columbus, and Paul also mentioned, similarly to when you targeted Nico Mikkola, just somebody who fits in well with the team. So I'm just curious, how long ago did you target Seth as somebody you wanted to bring in here, and kind of how did it play out over the last couple of days and weeks?
Well, as part of the pro process. Is this working? As part of the pro process, we're always evaluating everybody. You could pretty much go to any general manager in the league and ask that person about any player in the league, and they look and say, "This is what we think. This is when we've seen them." So it's a constant monitoring because we had been in Columbus. I remember as you were potentially a few years ago, you would have been free agency on the horizon. So that's, guys who are 1 year out, right? So for example, at the end of next season, we're already, is that someone maybe down the road that could fit? So from that perspective, you're always doing it, but just having known Seth and been with him in Columbus, you watch and you have friendships and people that you know, and you sort of, being from Chicago, obviously I follow that franchise. And so there's that fanboy part of you too, that you're just watching, oh yeah, he's doing great. And so it all kind of comes together then when you're seriously talking about getting someone. There's a whole part of the equation you're not worried about. I know that person. So it's very helpful.
Bill, obviously we know what this move does for this season and today, but just to get Seth for 5+ years after this, to know you have a right shot D in the top 4 for that window, just what did that mean in terms of getting this deal done? How valuable is that?
Yeah, I think it's great, and it's. I think it all makes sense and it all works out. But it's really the player and what he does and how we think he can fit. And when you have players that have the capabilities that Seth has, and you have a chance to get them, you get them. That's the simple equation.
Seth, you kind of hit on it off the top. Jessica Blaylock with Script Sports, by the way, do the TV broadcast. You hit on it off the top to have a goaltender like Sergei Bobrovsky to play in front of, just a solid group of blue liners that you're going to add to, highly skilled forwards that you know how tough they've been to play against throughout the years. Just curious, are there a handful of players in particular that you're just really excited about getting to know in that dressing room, especially knowing what a great reputation they have playing so hard for one another?
Well, I think, I don't know if it's maybe one specific player, but, obviously it's great being with Bob again. Watching him in Columbus, I was 21 when I got traded there, or 20, maybe just turning 21, but I was still a kid, and seeing how Bob prepared every game, and, you don't talk to Bob on game day. He's just so locked in every day. And he's a rock back there for us, and he was a big part of the winning culture here and a big part of why they won last year. So I was excited to see that again, of course, because it really starts with him. He doesn't say much, but it really does. And, obviously Barkey, you hear nothing but great things about him. It starts with your best players and how they work and how they prepare every day, and then it trickles down the lineup. So, I'm just happy to, like I said, step into that culture, hopefully add to that culture, and add to the winning hockey that we have here.
Bill, this one's for you. Yesterday, the news came out that you guys placed Matthew Tkachuk on long-term injured reserve. What does that say for your guys' strategy? Does that open you guys up to make more moves, or is it potentially that Tkachuk can come back during the regular season?
I don't know that it necessarily says anything other than we have space. Matthew's going to be out for an extended period of time, and we hope to get him back for the playoffs. And we're still sort of in that, you have a projection, you have a diagnosis and a rehab course of action, but how and where and in what manner the progress of that rehab is still yet to be determined.
Hi, Seth. You mentioned it before, but your desire to play in the playoffs and to compete for a Stanley Cup. Just can you kind of expand on how excited you were to come to Florida and to know that you're going to be a part of that, not just this season, but more than likely for the next several years?
Extremely excited. It puts a smile on your face, and it makes you, you watch it on TV when you're not in the playoffs, and you wish that you were there, playing. And obviously I got a taste with Bill in Columbus. We had a couple good years there. We only got to the second round. And then we had some free agent, whatever, people leave. But I think just getting that feeling again of playing meaningful hockey, meaningful games in March, April, May, and hopefully June again for us. But, I think there's just a heightened pressure, a heightened sense of preparing for those games. But it's great. You want to be there. You want to be on the biggest stage playing, and you want to make a difference. So I'm super excited to be here, super pumped. I can't wait to play tonight.
I just wanted to ask you, what was it like? I don't know, are you staying at a hotel or?
Yeah.
Okay. What was it like coming to this rink at 76 degrees? I know you've come here during all-star breaks or whatever to vacation. Welcome home.
It was different. It was definitely different. I left my parka in Chicago. it's probably a blizzard there right now, but it's definitely, I think being in this weather, the lifestyle, definitely, you feel good every day coming to the rink. Obviously that helps. It's obviously about winning, but this definitely helps, the lifestyle part of it. Sometimes when you're too focused on hockey, it can kind of cloud some things. So I think getting away and, having that lifestyle helps for sure. But, at the end of the day, I'm here to work and I'm here to win.
For Bill, over the last couple of deadlines and years, we've talked about how this team has such a good knack for finding fits. Whether it was, Sam Bennett, Nico Mikkola, Carter Verhaeghe, the list goes on. Just as time's gone on and as you won the championship, how does this team and your staff kind of perfected that art of finding fit?
Well, thank you for saying that. I don't think we have. But you're right. It's a great point that you bring up, is that a team is going to win the cup this year. I don't know who it is, but it will be a team. And how all those parts play together, it will not be the collection of the top 20 best hockey players in the league. It'll be a team. And that's an important part of how, at least how we go about the equation. And, I think Seth will tell you the same thing. I mean, it's the guys know it, and it is important, and it's exciting.
Seth, with your experience, obviously adjustment to a new system will take care of itself. But what is the difference as you've seen the opening steps of this system compared to what you've been used to?
Just talking to, obviously playing against the Panthers the past few years. Really since Paul came in, it's just in your face. It's aggressive forechecking, the deep pinch everything, the forwards reload. They always have your back. We don't want to give up anything off the rush, and they don't really, and if there is, things are always corrected right away. And I think that's how you have to play. You have to take time and space away. That's what, this team's great at. The forwards are big, they're strong, they're physical. They're super skilled, but the skill comes out after the work and after the forecheck, after the heavy hitting, and then the other team's really backed off, and now the skill takes over and they score goals. So that's a brand of hockey that works in the playoffs. It works when games are meaningful, because it's just hard to play against. They grind you down game after game, especially in a playoff series. So that's what I'm, hopefully I can add to that. Be a physical presence on the back end, defend hard, and then when the time comes, jump into play and make offensive plays and make things happen.
Hi, Seth. This one's for you. The South Florida hockey market has really grown a lot over the last few years. How does it feel to kind of be a part of growing it now for the next 5 years that you have under your contract here?
Yeah, it feels great. I think, like you said, I don't know if it was much of a hockey market, even when I was drafted in 2013. But, obviously winning cures all, right? People want to come to the games. They want to see exciting things happen when we're playing. And so I think that obviously helps. But I think obviously I'm sure we do a lot in the community. I haven't talked much with the team about that. I'm sure we're always out doing stuff, always out growing the game, whether it's youth hockey, going to the children's hospital or whatever the case is. So I think that's a big part of it off the ice as well. And I'm excited to really, try to be a part of this community.
Thanks, Ed.
Thanks, guys.